Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jenny Chess and welcome back to another discussion. Welcome to chapter 3, and for the first series that I want to cover, it will be board game mini series. And yeah, this is the first part of 7 part of board game mini series. And yeah, today we'll actually talk about Monopoly. And the reason why I want to talk about Monopoly is because since I was a kid, actually, I remember that I had a Monopoly game, and um, yeah, and it just brings back the memory, right? I played this like myself. I know it sounds weird, right? Because when I was a kid, obviously my siblings went to school, right? But I was at home. But I have this weird cheap Monopoly, right? Uh, Monopoly. I don't know how to pronounce that. Monopoly or Monopoly or Monopoly. I'm not sure, but yeah, Monopoly. Basically, I have this like since I was kid, and yeah, with my what is it like sitter? I would say. What do you call a babysitter? And yeah, like yeah, we played it, and we don't really actually play it. I remember that there is so many cards, right? Like the cards that do something, right? So yeah, I remember that, but I never know how to play the game, right? So yeah, and then as I grew up, I played this with my cousins as well. And yes, this is pretty much a controversial game, I would say. Yeah, like every time I play this, things not going to end well, right? Well, at least at least not me, but my whoever my partner is, right? Not really my partner, but more like since we play it in group, right? We play it in 4 people, so it's not really my fault, right? But yeah, so what happened is that I feel like one person will eventually get very unlucky, and then they will drop into others' property, right? And then they need to they pay, right? That person needs to pay a lot, right? Eventually, and then that person goes bankruptcy, and then yeah. It never ends well, right? If you're losing, right? So I still remember one of my cousins get very angry, and then they ripped off the board, it was paper, right? So they just rip the thing into tools, and just basically throw away all the tokens, throw away all the money, the fake money, and then yeah, just putting tantrum, right? Um, at that time, it was I consider that as kind of funny, right? But then the elder, the parents don't didn't find it funny, and then yeah, like that game was since then banned, right? Every time we had like gathering time or around, with siblings, with the parents as well, with uncles and aunts, and with my parents as well, we never actually played this ever since again, because of how it brought back um, how it brought a lot of bad things, right? Therefore we didn't actually play this anymore since then. However, when I grew up, afterwards I got my phone, and I looked at the Google Play Store, and I found a Monopoly game. Basically, it was called Let's Get Rich. I think it's associated with Line as well. It's Korean game, right? And it was fun, right? Because especially when you play it online with other people, right? So whenever one of you got angry, you don't have to deal with the effects in real life, right? So they can't really do anything harmful, right? Because it's just online game, so there is not really any physical thing there, right? So they can't really be angry, right? um the best they can do is probably just close the game, right? Uninstall the game, and that's about it. There's no need to throwing away stuff around. There's no need to ripping off the board. There's no need to, yeah, there is no need to yell loudly and cry and all that stuff. But yeah, so I would say that Monopoly itself is great if you play it online with random, right? With strangers, right? Do not play this with your friend because eventually one of you will lose, right? Will lose a lot of money and then goes bankruptcy, right? And that's just how it is. That's the end of the Monopoly, right? The goal is whoever can survive the most, right? And since also it involves RNG because you play the dice, right? You throw the dice, and sometimes RNG doesn't side you, right? And then you land on people's property, and then you pay a lot of money, and then you lose, right? Basically, and yeah, so there's that anyway. Uh, I guess there's that about the history from my perspective. I guess now we can start discussing the actual thing as well. I think that time I already talked about 5-10 minutes, so I will only discuss for the next 10 minutes as well. So yeah, I will try to limit these discussions into 20 minutes only, and that's about it pretty much. So first will be Monopoly is a multiplayer economics themed board game. So yeah, multiplayer, right? Although nowadays you can play this on phone, offline mode as well with AI, with computer. So you can actually play this single player, real player, which is only you, and the other players is just AI or computer, right? So it's still a multiplayer game, but a single real player, right? So yeah, it's just single player with NPC, right? And that's about it. Um, in the game, players roll two dice to move around the game board, buying and trading properties and developing them with houses and hotels. Players collect rent from their opponents, aiming to drive them into bankruptcy. So yeah, that's the goal of the game, right? To have one of the players go bankruptcy, and then you will be the last person surviving the economy, right? Money can also be gained or lost through chance and community chest cards and tax squares. So this is chance and community chest. Okay. Players receive a stipend every time they pass go and end up in jail, from which they cannot move until they have met one of three conditions. Um, House rules, hundreds of different editions, many spin offs, and related media exist. Monopoly has become a part of international popular culture, having been licensed locally in more than 103 countries and printed in more than 37 languages. As of 2015, it was estimated that the game had sold 275 million copies worldwide. Um, in 2022, I believe this number will just add up, right? Especially the online games about Monopoly as well. There's already so many of them, right? So, yeah, at least there's that. Next we have, what is it? Oh, this is the original Monopoly, right? The logo 2008 to present. Oh, that's actually surprising because I thought that this was older than that. So yeah, at least there's that. A British edition of Monopoly. Yeah, as you can see, there is so many currency over here. I think this one's the one that I had as well. I still remember the money looks like this. So yeah, yeah, it just brings back memories. I tell you that. The designers will be Lizzie Maggie and Charles Darrow. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is like, maybe this is the person that firstly made Monopoly. I'm not sure, right? And then publishers Hasbro, Parker Brothers, Wedding Turns, Winning Mouse, Fun School, and stuff like that. Publication 1935. That's 87 years ago. That's actually insane. Genres will be board game, yes, because it's talking about uh, board game miniseries, right? And then after that, players minimum of two, maximum of however many tokens are provided in the box. In modern copies, this is usually eight. Oh, eight? I thought only four, but alright. Um, I think typically four, but yeah, two is when you play online, I think. And yeah, setup time will be 2 to 5 minutes. Playing time 20 to 180 minutes. Yeah, this can be as short as 20 minutes. it can also be as long as 3 hours, right? Depending on the RNG, right? Maybe all of you survive the thing and you keep getting money, right? Like consistently, right? Like you visit someone else's property and then you pay, and then someone else visit your property and then they pay, right? So the money just circulates, right? So it at that point it can extend to 180 minutes. The chance will be high. Dice rolling, card drawing. What is it? I'm not sure. What about chance here? I think it's about the involvement of RNG probably, and it's high because I believe because it involves about dice rolling, right? You need the number, right, so that you step on something that you can buy and not stepping on someone else's property, right? Age range 8 plus, but then again I don't recommend kids to play this. The reason why is because again when I was kid, like I said with the cousins, right, um, the situation can get what is it, like heated, right? People can get angry and do stuff that you don't want, right? So I would say that age range it should be, I would say, 13 plus, like middle school, because yeah, or even high schooler, right? Yeah, like it's somewhere about that. So yeah, and then skills will involve negotiations. Fun fact, I actually never used negotiation function because there's this, right? Um, in Monopoly, actually, you can negotiate with other players as well. Like, you can buy their property by offering a lot of money, right? So that's actually a mechanics in game, but I never actually used that whenever I played. Actually, when I was kid as well, even the online as well, kind of don't provide that. Actually, like you cannot really just offer someone money so that you can buy their property. I don't think that's a thing just yet. Well, at least the time I'm playing that in the past, right? There's not really any feature about that. So maybe it's now, maybe it's not. But yeah, negotiations kinda, I would say that pretty much 5% of the time I will use negotiation, and that's from the offline game. So apparently there's also offline games about Monopoly. In my old phone, old old phone, the one that has the 1 2 3 to 9, and then number two is ABC, number three is DEF, and stuff like that, right? The numpad basically. And at that phone there's actually a Monopoly game, and I actually played that. And in that there's actually a negotiation that I can do, and I always play that by buying every single property that the opponents have, because I really want the property first, right? So I actually buying a lot of stuff, having no money, but then again after that a lot of the NPCs will come into me, right? So I got a lot of stuff. um, oh god, it's already 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 more minutes. History. Okay, let's actually check over here. There is something over here or not. Monopoly is derived from Landlord's game, created by Lizzie Mackey in US in 1903. So that's a long time ago. That's already 100, more than 100 years now, right? Yeah, it's 120, no, 119 years. That's a lot of years, and yeah, as a way to demonstrate that an economy that rewards individuals is better than one where monopolies hold all the wealth, and to promote the economic theories of Henry George, in particular, his ideas about taxation, right? So yeah, there's also tax in the game as well. The more you own something, the more you will have to pay the tax, and even if you don't have anything, you still have to pay tax as well. And apparently, that's that, right? Early history. This is, oh, that's actually very simple. Not simple, but very lucrative. Lizzie Marquis 1904 board design. Okay, so since Lizzie Marquis did this in 1904 and probably at the age of like not early age as well, so I'm pretty sure that Lizzie Mackey already passed. But yeah, well, at least that's their legacy now, right? uh, I guess there's that. Well, unless that person lives at least 119 years, right? Like right now, but I doubt it. There's a link over here. I feel like I think when I click this link, it will direct to their page, right? And then their, what is it called? Like their legacy about this, right? So yeah, maybe also we'll mention the time they were born, the time they passed, and so on, right? And yeah, basically like the, what is it called, the biography of the person, right? So yeah, this is pretty much the history. 1936 to 70, Parker Brothers began licensing the game for sale outside the US. Oh, so this is the first time it went international then. Okay, and then, oh, there is a forbidden word there that I should not mention. And then 70s to 80s, published anti-monopoly and was sued for trademark infringement. Okay. Okay, so the person won and determined that trademark monopoly was generic and therefore unenforceable. Oh, I see. So now a lot of people can pretty much make their own version and can license theirs, right? So it's not really a thing now, like a one thing. It's more like a genre, right? So everyone can make a lot of spin-offs and stuff like that. And then Hasbro ownership, and then there's also other wells. Okay, so board over here, this is the board. Yeah, I still remember this. This is pretty much the look of the house and the hotels, right? And then the cards as well, the tokens, and then this is the version. This is the, yeah, the monopoly is, what is it like? There is the symbol, right? The icon with the old man with the top hat and the stick, right? The long stick, the walking stick. And yeah, oh, and then this is the line, right? Yeah, there's that free parking, you get the money, right? And then this one, go to jail. um you need to get out by, I think you need to have the card if you have, and then you need to either that or either you roll the same number, or I think there is something else I forgot. Maybe you pay a lot of money, probably, I'm not sure. And then this one, as you pass, you collect. But if you land on here, I don't think you get anything. So you only collect if you pass, and that's about it. And then this one, just visiting or in jail, right? So if you're not in jail, then you just pass. But if you land on this go to jail, then you will end up here, right? And yeah, there's that. Okay, this is pretty much the board how it looks. And then after that, yeah, it's pretty much the same. This is the UK version. Okay. I think there is an international version as well. Like it pretty much covers every continent, I think. Like there's Asia, there's Australia, there's US, there's, yeah, there is so many stuff, right? This one, oh, this is the one where you use digital, I think, right? Yeah, this is, I guess you can use this one as well. You can swipe, right? And then it will be reduced from your balance, right? So it kind of modernized a little bit, right? And then the equipment, obviously the tokens, right? And then the dice. Oh, this is the dice during World War II. That's interesting. Oh, I see. So that's, this one, two, three, four, five, six, and then this is the double dice at the outer line, right? So when you land on this, it means you land on two and four, right? And then if you land on this, it means you land on four and four, and so on, right? So it's six times six, basically, which is 36, right? Interesting. That's actually a clever DIY dice, honestly. But yeah, and then the cards, obviously, and then the deeds. What's deeds again? I'm not sure. Given to a player to signify ownership and specifies purchase price, mortgage value, the cost of building. For railroads, players collect 25. Oh, this is pretty much the set price, right? The deeds, I think. And then the dice, obviously, double roll, and then houses and hotels in tokens, right? And then money, obviously, in bills. Yeah, like fake bills, right? And then Yeah, and then there is that, right? Extra currency. I'm not sure what that is. Electronic banking. That's pretty much for the what is it called again? Like yeah, like the calculator, like the digital thing. And then tokens, obviously the token for your character, also the token for the hotels, the token for houses and stuff like that. And then there is the cards as well. I think already mentioned, right? The cards in which give you special things like random events, basically, right? And then there's special editions. I'm not sure what this is, but yeah. Also, if you play this in like computer or something like that, you probably will have some other things, right? Like there's pretty much a lot of modifications that are in game that you can always come up with. Rules, I believe rules are simple. Yeah, this is the starting money, and then I believe this is also like conclude the game, right? How you can go to, like how you can go, like if you are what is it like if you basically if you run out of money, right, and then you declare bankruptcy, and then yeah, like this one as well, if you do not pass go, then you do not collect. You only collect if you pass and stuff like that, and yeah, so there is a lot of that. Yeah, bankruptcy over here, so this is pretty much your game over, right? If you're bankrupt, then you game over basically. House rules, and then strategy as well. My strategy actually to own as many house as possible so that you can claim that tile as yours, right? However, this also has backfires, which is the tax. So there's actually a lot of tax tiles or a lot of cards that give you tax. And some of them actually depends on the amount of property that you have, unfortunately, right? So if you own a lot of hotel, it means you need to pay a lot of tax. And if you don't have the money, then you need to sell that tax, and that's about. I mean, you need to sell that hotels, and that's about it. Um, the end game, I would say, pretty much the last person to survive will probably win the game. Also, you can also set to like time limit as well, right? So you play this for like let's say 30 minutes. Whoever still survive or whoever has the most money will win, right? So yeah, there you go. And then this one's related game ons, I guess. And then there's also uh, basically a lot of games that revolves around Monopoly, I believe. And then what else? Like media, okay, there's that. And then tournaments, okay, apparently they make this into tournaments, which is interesting. And then variants, a lot of variants, I would say, right? This is pretty much the spin-off, I would say. And then reception, and then figurative language, Mr. Monopoly, here we go. Rich Uncle Pennybags. The mascot character, the game's mascot character, right? So, okay, so the name is Rich Uncle Pennybags. Okay, Mr. Monopoly. Okay, and then notes. There's nothing. References. A lot of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that will conclude our first episode of board game miniseries. There will be seven, and that's about it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a day. This has been Monopoly in 1 year 365, and yeah, this is day one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Day one in chapter 3 as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very soon. I will see you again tomorrow with another board game that we will discuss. But yeah, until then, see ya.